All right, how you doing today, folks? Now, before we get started, as always, you're going to be doing a $1,000 giveaway for a $1,000 knife, and we get 1,000 subscribers. Definitely stick around, subscribe, like the video, and stay tuned for that one. This is going to be the unboxing slash first impressions of the CJRB feldspar. This is in this beautiful micarta. I've had this knife for 3 days, so I have a pretty solid idea of what to expect in the long run. But to be clear, this is not an actual review. Now, first off, we have a beautiful drop point blade of D2 steel. To be clear, this is not CPM D2. This is the standard D2. So your edge retention as well as sharpability is going to be kind of sporadic, but overall D2 is an okay steel. It's not my personal favorite. I think that the D2 hype train is highly overrated, but it's my personal opinion. Now, on one side of the blade, you have the CJRB branding. It's a bit bigger than I would normally like. It's a little obnoxious, but it's not super horrible. And on the other side, you have a very aesthetically pleasing serial number, which I'm not sure why it's on the blade itself, as well as the D2 and China on the bottom. So the other side is very minimalistic and is definitely my preference. Now, on this BladeHQ sprint run, you have this absolutely beautiful micarta. You also have what appears to be either a copper and or a titanium anodized backspacer. Simple liner lock, but still very effective. Nice deep carry clip, relatively deep carry anyways. And overall, a very beautiful aesthetics. Now, as far as edge performance, as you can see, it's very thin behind the edge. It's very, very slicey. It isn't the greatest when going through cardboard, but it is still definitely very effective. But to be clear, it will still go through it, and it will still shave it relatively effectively. You just have to use a little bit of force. Now, as far as the ergonomics, you can see this is a very small knife in my hand. I do have a finger sticking off at any one point in time. If I do choke up, I can kind of get this really weird, kind of wonky grip and get all 4 fingers on. But the ergonomics for somebody with a smaller hands are overall very solid. There's no real hot spots to speak of, and it is overall aesthetically as well as ergonomically very pleasing in the hand. Now, with that being said, you will also feel the clip at any point in time when you are holding it. As you can see, this slope is very aggressive. It's not by any means a really bad thing, but it is definitely noticeable, something that needs to be taken into consideration for your purchase. Now, as far as overall size, this is the CJRB large feldspar. So as you can see, it's definitely very EDC friendly. It's not the biggest knife in the world. Obviously, if you want a smaller one, you can definitely go ahead and get with the small feldspar. But as far as the actual large, you have just enough usable blade length, for my personal opinion, as well as a decently comfortable handle, which fits very well among the Spyderco 2 Benchmade full-size Reptilian, as well as the Kaiser Sheepdog. However, I do want to make mention of one thing. All of these knives you see here are above the $100 mark, and the CJRB feldspar, if you want to get the micarta version, about $50. The D2, or excuse me, the G10 version is about $35. So absolutely phenomenal value for it. Also, I believe the BladeHQ version is currently sold out. They'll probably doing a restock, and I really cannot recommend it enough as far as just how it looks ergonomically and aesthetically. It's fantastic. Now, as far as the action on this knife, you can spidey flick it very easily. Thumb flick it just as easy. Now, while this knife definitely isn't a free faller, it definitely does drop shut with a little bit of a shake and is overall very, very smooth. Now, who is the CJRB feldspar large for? In my humble opinion, it's for absolutely everybody. Now, while the D2 blade isn't personally to my liking, definitely is still a solid budget steel, and many, many folks absolutely swear by D2. Personally, I prefer 14C28N or 154CM for my budget steels, but at the end of the day, D2 is very much a functional steel. It does have decent edge retention. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass to sharpen if you're not quite familiar with it. But there definitely is a learning curve, but it's a pretty small one. The edge geometry is perfect for highly detailed cuts, not quite ideal for going through boxes or other things of that nature, but overall still very, very solid. The beautiful micarta scales give you grip as well as a little bit of extra style and personality. The collar gives a little bit of flair and pop. The generous lanyard hole gives you the ability to customize your piece a little bit. And while the clip is personally less than ideal for me, it's still very, very solid and carries beautifully in the pocket. And all of that leads me to an absolutely crazy statement that I never thought I'd ever make, but this knife is almost custom quality for $50. How in the hell is that possible? Now, is it fully there yet? No. To be clear, it's almost. But just the fact that it's even close at $50 almost makes me sick to my stomach because I have paid so much for so many knives that weren't quite as good as this. So my overall score of the CJRB feldspar large is going to be a 9.5 out of 10. I cannot give it a 10 out of 10 because it's not quite perfect. There are little things here and there that I must detract it for, but overall, it is incredible, and I am so very impressed by it. All right, folks. Now, before I say goodbye, I want to give an absolute sincere shout out to all the new subscribers, all those that have stuck with me through thick and thin through all this process. I want to give a sincere I love you all to every single person watching. Hope you all have a great day, a fantastic week, an amazing life. I hope you achieve your goals, your dreams, and your hopes, and everything is success for you, and you shoot right up to the stars and have an absolutely amazing life and existence. I love you all with all my heart. Take care, be safe, and bye.